your closing line about paying it forward, so we're thrilled with that mindset. Thank you, and kudos to your parents. Their mom and dad got them out of their comfort zone, and you can see how working in golf shaped their life, and your financial support has certainly shaped their life, and we look forward to it continuing. So to conclude our program, we have one more speaker, Duffy Brent, a passionate Ouimet Fund donor, instrumental with many others on the Ouimet board through our centennial in 2013, and in the past 3 years on our volunteer board of directors. I'd like to let him share his story and perspective on the impact that you all make. Duffy Brent.
It's a tough comedy team to come up here after. I think it's great, by the way. We were speaking with Greg Galius, who's on our board of directors of the Ouimet Fund. But Greg is also a trustee at Loyola College in Baltimore.
Loyola University.
Oh, excuse me, I apologize. You know, these Jesuit colleges, there are 28 of them, I get them all confused. But I think, Greg, you can take a lot of pride in knowing that these two kids are students at Loyola, and their sister, too. But thank you. First of all, let me add my thanks to what you've heard from Jim and Colin for joining us tonight at the Investing in Lifetimes reception. As I stand here tonight and look out in this room, I cannot help but think how blessed and fortunate we are to share this very special evening of friendship and gratitude. I hope all of you here tonight, our endowed creators, their guests, our Lifetime and our Eddie Lowry Society members, know how much the Francis Ouimet Fund appreciates that you have chosen us as a vehicle for fulfilling your charitable wishes and for sharing with us the success that you have worked so hard to achieve. I would like to extend a special welcome to the members of the Eddie Lowry Society who have joined us here tonight. The Lowry Society, which honors Francis's lifelong friend and his caddy at the 1913 U.S. Open, was created a couple of years ago by our board of directors to recognize the men and women who have included the Ouimet Fund as part of their estate plan. Some members have included an unrestricted bequest to the fund, while others have designated the endowed fund that they've established at Ouimet to be the recipient of that bequest. This is an impactful and sometimes less burdensome way to ensure that the endowed fund that you created will continue to grow and prosper so it may support more young men and women. If you'd like to learn more about how you can join the Lowry Society, please speak with myself, one of my colleagues on the Ouimet board, or members of our Ouimet staff. And I also want to mention that Cynthia Wilcox is here, and she is actually Eddie Lowry's daughter. And I don't know whether any of you some of you might have watched the U.S. Open this past weekend, but Fox Television did a wonderful little spot on Eddie Lowry. And a link is on the Ouimet board, on the Ouimet website. If you haven't seen it, click on it. It's definitely, worth the 3 minutes to watch it. It was 70 years ago this month that a few of Francis's closest friends from Woodland Golf Club approached him about establishing a nonprofit organization in his name that would provide a college scholarship to young men and women who give a minimum of 2 years of service to the game we all love. Today, the fund has provided almost $38 million in awards to nearly 6,000 students. As Jim mentioned, in the coming academic year, the Ouimet Fund will grant $2.5 million in awards, an increase of $300,000 over last year's awards. This increase would not be possible without the 154 named endowed funds totaling over $18 million that were created by many of you in this room. Please know that prior to his passing in 1967, Francis acknowledged that he believed his greatest legacy would be the fund that was established in his honor. Thanks to you, I think he was right. In recognition of the 75th anniversary in 2024 of the founding of the Ouimet Fund, our board of directors, as part of our recently adopted strategic plan, hopes to expand the number of named endowed funds to 240 and increase the endowment to $24 million. Doing so will allow us to raise the amount we award to each scholar, as well as to the number of recipients. To achieve this goal, we're going to ask for your help. If you have friends or colleagues who you believe would like to join with us in support of our young scholars and give back to the sport we all love, we ask you to please introduce them to us. Over the past couple of years, I've had a chance to volunteer to interview a few of our new Ouimet Scholar applicants, of which this year there are 170. 2 weeks ago, I interviewed a young applicant from the South Shore who had just transferred to the University of Virginia with a major in civil engineering and a 3.8 grade average, by the way. He reminded me of just about every Ouimet applicant and scholar I have come to know. Bright, articulate, hardworking, passionate about life, and mature beyond their years. Andy had spent his first 2 years in college in New Mexico. I asked him why he had waited a couple years to apply for a Ouimet scholarship, even though he had a very strong academic background and completed his service to golf requirement 3 years ago. His response, "I just never got around to it." I was a bit taken back by his candor and asked, "So what has changed?" He explained that it wasn't until he had lived away from home in the Southwest and became close friends with 3 college roommates that he grew to appreciate how he was raised and how lucky he was growing up. One of his roommates was born with AIDS, had never met his father, and lived in several foster homes growing up. Another was raised by a single-parent father who was in the military, never lived in one place for more than a couple years, and had a brother who had spent time in and out of jail. His third roommate had never left New Mexico and was raised by a single-parent mother who worked 3 jobs while raising 4 children. Elijah, Malcolm, and Louis, said Andy, taught me how diverse the world is, that it's full of people who are brought up in other ways and face different struggles. I learned from my 3 friends and my experiences away from home that it's not about the gifts you were given, it is about what you earn in life and what you give back. And if I can help fund my last 2 years of college as a Ouimet scholar, it'll give me a chance to give back to my parents. While I do hope that Andy will be a Ouimet scholar, I think today he could be the poster child for every donor in this room. You have worked hard to achieve success in your life. You have made the conscious decision to give back to the young men and women in this room who are, quite frankly, our future. And you have chosen to make yourself impactful and to do something of value to make the Ouimet Fund better. For this and so much more, we thank you. That's all I have to say. Please stick around, meet with our scholars, enjoy the evening, and please drive home safely in this lovely wet weather that we're enjoying. Thank you, folks.